Hello everyone, this is Cherie. Welcome to Shelter in Place, Week 9. My big accomplishment of the week was finally finishing another book, Outlander. And this was given to me by a friend at work who said that it is historical smut. And yeah, basically that's what it is, historical smut. But it was a really fun read. It's long. I think it was like 850 pages. So it took me a while to get through it. I am kind of interested in seeing the series now. As for reading the other, 6 or 7 books after it, I wouldn't be adverse to picking them up, but I'm really busy right now with other things like trying to read, 167 screenplays that I need to read. So I don't think I will be continuing with the Outlander series right now, but I might pick it up in the future. So I would recommend it. I mean, it's if you like this kind of thing. So anyway, and that is only the 3rd book that I have read in 9 weeks during the quarantine. Again, I have been busier reading many screenplays, so that's been taking up most of my reading time. This week I read 2 screenplays, and they were both Booksmart. Booksmart was written in 2008, and it made the 2009 Blacklist, and that is a list of the most liked but unproduced screenplays. And it's really interesting to see the decade changes that happened in it. So it was originally written in 2008, and then it was revised into the 2018 draft that was the one that they based the movie on. So the original screenplay, the premise was just about smart girls who were seeking boyfriends to go to the prom. And then what it morphed into was smart girls vow to get crazy at a party the night before graduation. And so some of the other changes they made, it originally took place in Michigan, and the movie takes place in Los Angeles. The original script took place throughout the whole second semester of the senior year, whereas the movie takes place on the last day of school and graduation day. And then Amy's crush in the original was a guy named Ryan, and in the movie it is a girl named Ryan. So all these little changes that honestly I think the changes were all for the better. The original screenplay just didn't do it for me. I mean, I thought it was fine. It was well written, but it didn't have the magic that the newer screenplay has. One of the characters I loved that they added was Gigi, and that was played by Billie Lourd, Carrie Fisher's daughter. She was amazing. I mean, she was so fun to watch, and she was written really well in the script also. She was kind of like a modern-day Penny Lane, if you saw Almost Famous. That was Kate Hudson who played Penny Lane. And the screenwriters were obviously inspired by Penny Lane because they actually mentioned her. It says in the screenplay, Amy stands to the side as Gigi dances under the twinkling lights like Penny Lane in Almost Famous. And then at the party, there's a scene where Penny Lane has her arms stretched out, and she says, I am a golden starfish, and then she falls into the pool. And that definitely harks back to Almost Famous, where the lead guitarist is over the pool going, I am a golden god, and he dives into the pool. So anyway, 2 great scripts right there, Almost Famous and the second version of Booksmart. I saw 6 movies this week. One was a short, but I'm still going to mention it because it's an important one. But the first one I saw was Booksmart. That's what inspired me to go back and read the screenplays. I've said it many times on this channel. This is just a really fun movie. Please see it. Then I watched The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. This was a thriller film from, I believe, the 90s. And I saw it twice in the theater. I was so impressed with it. And, you know, I just really love how the story builds. And I love Rebecca De Mornay's psycho nanny character. It's a fun movie to watch. This is a movie about a voiceover artist who is competing with male voiceover artists to do movie trailers, you know, that famous like In a World opening. And she actually ends up competing against her father at one point, who's this just super well-regarded voiceover actor. And he had raised her, telling her that, you know, it's just not a place for women. And, you know, so she has to go up against him. I think this is charming. I loved it. Lake Bell wrote, directed, and stars in it. And yeah, In a World, it's so fun. Watch this. All right, and then I also saw on Canopy The Last Black Man in San Francisco. This had been recommended on a lot of people's best of lists on YouTube, and I finally got to see it. I thought it was a documentary for some reason, but it really was just a film based on a true story. So it wasn't a documentary. It was gorgeous. The cinematography and the color grading, maybe, I don't know, but it looked gorgeous. And it was a really interesting story. And yeah, I would recommend it. I would watch it again. All right, the next one is the short film. It's called Meshes in the Afternoon by Maya Deren. And this was one of the very first experimental short films, black and white, and I saw it in one of my earlier film history classes, and then again in this video production course. It was one of the films that we were asked to watch. It's about 15 minutes. It's an avant-garde experimental art film. It's really good. All right, and then the final one I watched was This Is the End. I saw this one twice in the theater, and it's so funny. It's kind of raunchy, so I've had a lot of raunch this week with Outlander and Booksmart, and This Is the End. But it's really funny, and you know, now that we're in this pandemic, I don't know, it might be a fun one to watch during a pandemic. So this week in my class, we've been studying for the midterm, which is tomorrow. So we have like 5 weeks worth of lecture notes and reading that we have to go over for the midterm. Wish me luck on that. And the only thing we had to turn in was a short lighting test. So here is my short lighting test. Indoors key light. Indoors key light plus fill. Outdoor key light. Outdoor key light plus fill. All right, and then that's about it. I am going to be editing this video in new software. It's Premiere Pro, which through my class we were able to get a free version of for just the quarter. So I'm really excited about learning the Adobe Premiere Pro software. We'll see what time this video goes up, because there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for that. So anyway, I will see you next week. I hope you are safe and watch some movies.